Hey there everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again today. And if this is your first time here, just want to let you know what you're going to find in my videos. The channel's really about home financing, home saving money at home, anything relating to your home finances other than stock market investing. I'm probably not going to get into much of that at all during over the videos that I'll produce, but you'll get a lot of mortgage advice, saving money on payments at home, saving money on utilities, even some travel saving tips that I've gathered over the last 25 years that can help you. So a lot of content for you in the future. This particular video is about the FHA 203k rehab loan. I'm going to talk about what's great about that loan, what it's going to take to qualify for it, what the requirements are, the benefits, all of that. It's kind of why I'm wearing a flannel shirt, getting ready to work here, and tell you about the FHA rehab loan. So I also have a lot of notes down here on the table, and there's a lot to take in, and there's a lot to explain to you, and I really don't want to forget. Okay, so basically, in the short summarized version, the FHA 203k rehab loan is a loan program that allows you to put just 3.5% down on the purchase of a property and also borrow the money needed to make the rehab or remodeling changes that you want to make in the house. So from that perspective, just think about that. You can buy a home that's essentially in disrepair, or even it might not be in disrepair. Maybe it's fine and it's livable, but you just want it to look different and you want to upgrade some things. This is a loan that will enable you to do that. And it's also a great way to potentially buy into a neighborhood at a much lower price. So let's use this example. Let's say that most of the homes in your neighborhood cost $200,000, and you're able to find one that's in disrepair for $100,000. But during your analysis, you realize that, hey, I could make this house look just like the other houses on the street if I put $50,000 into it. So now you could basically purchase the house with the FHA 203k loan, plus borrow the additional money needed to make the costs and the additional money needed to make the repairs, and now you've got yourself a home that's worth $200,000. So that is an amazing way to build wealth and to buy yourself into a neighborhood that maybe you would not have ordinarily been able to afford. So and you're able to borrow the money needed to make the rehabilitation project occur without with borrowing it, without having to pull it out of your pocket. So sorry for stumbling on that, but any case, so this is really how it works. The first thing you want to do is speak to a lender. Speak to a lender that specializes or that is willing to work with you on an FHA 203k rehab loan. And some lenders do, some lenders don't. That's one of the things about FHA loans is the FHA guidelines have a lot of different programs and they permit a lot of different things, but not all lenders choose to participate. So not all lenders will want to work with you on a FHA 203k rehab loan, but you can find one that will, and if you're having trouble, I can help you find one that will. Just leave some comments down below and I'll show you where you can find one. But in any case, you want to speak with a lender first, identify what's the maximum loan amount or purchase price you can get approved for. Okay, so you actually know what you're targeting there. And then from there, you want to obviously look at homes that are worth a lot less than that, because then you've got the rehab costs that are going to take you back up to that total loan amount, right? Then once you get approved and you have an idea on what the purchase price might be, you want to then look for an FHA 203k Rehab Consultants. You'll need one of those to help you through this process. It's a cost that you could also borrow the costs for that as well. But this consultant will help you through the process along the way. The fee could be as much as $1,000 for this consultant, possibly. I'm sure you can shop around, and there's ways to find them online. And that consultant will also will know of some FHA approved contractors in your area, because you can't just use any contractor. It's got to be someone that's approved and that's familiar with the process, that's going to do the repairs or the remodeling upgrades according to the FHA guidelines. Okay, so after you find that contractor, you can talk about the costs. It'd be great to have a ballpark idea from the contractors to what they might charge to do a kitchen, a bathroom, various different things, flooring, different things, that the roof, whatever needs to be done. So you kind of have an idea. That way you can start your home search after that. And even when you're doing your home search, you could invite the consultants and or your potential contractor in. If you kind of like a property, you bring them in and they can look around. And then on your own, without the seller around, you talk about the different things you might want to do, and they can give you a feel for what it would cost. And then you could potentially move forward and make an offer on the house. Then once you close the loan, you start the project, and then you need to have the project all wrapped up in a total of 6 months. Okay, so hopefully that explains that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you might also be able to borrow the money needed to pay for your rent to live elsewhere while this home is being rehabilitated. That's pretty amazing. There's no other loan program really that's going to do that for you. Okay, so now the requirements. The requirements are basically just like any other FHA loan. You're going to need to have a 2-year work history. You can't have a recent bankruptcy or foreclosure. You will need a minimum credit score of 580 if you want to use a 3.5% down payment. And if your score is below 580 but above 500, then you'll need a 10% down payment. Now, while I'm recording this here, spring of 2000, there really are no lenders at the moment that are working with borrowers with credit scores in the 500s. So hopefully when you're watching this, if you're not watching this right away and you're watching this down the road, that's changed. And if that is your situation, you can let me know, and I'll be able to find someone that can work with you with those lower credit scores. But at the moment, due to what's happening in the lending business and in the real estate and in the economy, a lot of the lenders have temporarily raised their credit score minimums. So anyway, so 2-year work history, right? You need to be able to document your income. The total loan needs to be also within the FHA loan limits for your county. So you can use our loan lookup tool and figure out, based on you put your state in there, the drop down, you go to your county, you can see the maximum loan amount for a single family house or 2-family or 3-family or 4-family in your county. So you'll know exactly what you're looking at. And that'll help you during your home shopping as well. Okay, so I want to go through this. We're going to have to read off a piece of paper. I want to let you know what you can and cannot do as far as the repairs are concerned. So the good news is there's a lot that you can do. A lot that you can use the money for. Now, you do need a contractor, a licensed contractor, to do this work. This isn't they're not going to give you the money to do a DIY project. You'd have to be really an experienced licensed contractor that's done this before for them to potentially approve that. But you can't do this. Can't be a DIY thing. But they allow you to do a lot. So all of your air conditioning and heating, your furnace and all of those types of things can be remodeled and redone. All of your plumbing and electrical systems, any structural repairs that are needed, like your foundation, for example, you can do foundation repairs. Any framing that potentially needs to be redone, if something's sagging, like the roof. If you need to lift the house, maybe you're in a flood zone and it needs to be lifted, that can be covered. If you're trying to just improve the overall appearance, like siding and windows, even landscaping, that can be covered. Your walkway, your driveway, connecting your home to public sewer and water systems. Maybe you're on a septic system right now in a well and you want to connect to public utilities, you can do that. Replacing your roofing, I mentioned the siding already, your gutters and your downspouts, that can be covered. All of your flooring can be changed, painting, drywall, lighting, of course, they absolutely must insist that you take care of any safety concerns. So whether you want to do that or not, you're not going to be able to pass the final inspection on the house with an FHA loan if it's not a safe place to live and there are no hazards, there's no asbestos and lead paint and those kinds of things. And if there is, the cost to abate those issues can also be included in the loan. So any improvements to make the home energy efficient. So let's say solar panels, for example, that likely would be approved. Pavers. If you want to remove an in-ground swimming pool, you can do that, but you can't install a new one. If you want to install a new porch, a deck, or a patio, that is a great add-on to a house, and that can be covered. Making the home handicapped accessible. If you have a handicapped family member and you want to install ramps and things like that, and maybe remodel the bathroom to make it more accessible for someone who's handicapped, you can do that. And here, this part's amazing too. Converting a one family into a 2 or 3 or 4 family unit, adding basically you can pay to add a rental unit onto the home. That's awesome, right? Imagine that. As long as it meets code in your township, now you can have the loan pay for like an in-law suite kind of a thing, or just a separate entrance unit that you can rent out for whatever per month in your area, and now you've got income coming in. That's not too many loan programs will allow for that. So I also want to talk about other things that are not actual repairs that can be financed with this loan. If you need an architect, the fees related to an architect, any engineering. I told you that 203k consultants fee that can be financed. Inspection fees, title fees, building permits, any kind of studies that are needed. If there's something about your property and you need to have, I think there was a recent property I heard about where there was some oil rights related on part of the property, and there was some kind of testing or something that was needed to be done. Something like that could be covered too. And like I told you earlier, to be able to finance up to 6 months worth of your rent to live elsewhere, that can be covered. That's pretty amazing right now. So the type of property that's eligible would be a 1 to 4 family property, and it must be your primary residence. So now the other awesome thing about this is you could do this as a refinance too. They have this in a streamline and a regular refi, where you already own a home, you're already there, but now you want to borrow the money needed to make these repairs. Now you can go ahead and refinance it into this type of a loan and have all the repairs done and rolled into your loan. So that's a great thing for existing homeowners, people who are not looking to purchase a new place but already live in their home. They just want to make updates. That's an amazing thing, especially if you're already in an FHA loan and you already owe close to what the home value is, right? Because there is the FHA mortgage insurance premium, and you would hate to have to pay that on a home where you have a lot of equity already in it. So just something to look at and something to discuss with your lender. So I think that when you really take a look at this, this loan program is really just an amazing thing for someone that's trying to start out. You can do this too. I mentioned in another video that I'll link to at the end, where you can set yourself up as a first-time home buyer to really build some wealth. If you, instead of buying a single-family home, buy, let's say, a 4-family building and live in one and rent out the other 3 units. And you can do that also with an FHA 203k loan, right, where you buy the building and at the same time you upgrade all the other apartments, upgrade the kitchens and the baths and do whatever you need to do to be able to make it more attractive for renters. So you can charge higher rents now. You'll be able to pay down your mortgage that much faster. It's really a great program. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll answer them pretty quickly. And if you I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe and bell notification buttons on your screen, so that way you can come back and watch more videos that will hopefully provide you with some insights on home mortgages and financing. Thanks.